Hello, hello, hello. Breezy T here. Hey y'all. Of Breezy T and Hubs, KW Rollers. Today it's just Breezy T. It's just me. Just me. See, I'm smoking. Bad habit. But it is what it is. Alright, y'all. Well, as you know, I have been in training for a while. And Hubs has been training me. And he has been doing a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. However, I've just been a trucker for 20 years. And I just started. So you can imagine um, how that's going, you know, because, old school truckers have a way of doing things the way that they want to do them. And that's just the bottom line. So I thought I was ready to test a few weeks ago, maybe eh, like before the truck burned. And I was ready and I was like, okay. And like the following week is when I was supposed to test. It was like the 28th or 29th, something like that, that I was supposed to test. And truck burned on the 24th. So I was like, wow, yeah. And then I started doing some research and realized that if I were going to test in my truck, that I would have the restriction because my truck is an automatic. So I was like, okay, no big deal. I can drive a manual, no big deal. Problem is, my hubs taught me how to drive a manual. He taught me how to float gears because we never, at that time, we didn't think I was going to actually be trucking. You know what I mean? As a driver, you know what I mean? I've always been on the back end, like I said. Um, However, in the manual, when you test, you have to double clutch. And I don't double clutch, I single clutch, and I float. So, therefore, I need to learn how to do it the proper way. So, we ended up with the manual truck for a few weeks while we were waiting on our truck to be ready. And it was a fun experience. Let's put it like that. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I keep moving this around trying to figure out the lighting because I'm outside. It's wonderful. It's not raining anymore. So I'm enjoying the little breeze that's coming through. Um, at any rate, uh, we came to an agreement that I would just, give it all I got. I would go and I would test and in whatever truck I felt comfortable in. So I was like, okay, well, that month with the manual, I realized that um, it's not a big deal at testing in the manual. And then I won't have the restriction because the other truck's are manual. Ours is the only one that is an automatic. So I was like, I don't want to be restricted and can't, if we need to move one, if we need to do something, I can't do it because I have to drive just the automatic. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I decided to go to school. Yeah, so I will be starting school on September 10th here in Columbus, Ohio, at Roadmaster. And yeah, so I'm going to do that. Cost is like 7 grand, but it is what it is. I do what I gotta do. So I'm like, okay. They also, the way that they have everything, they have like two prices or what have you. So, if you plan on going to work for one of the companies that they do pre-hires for. Um, the cost is like 7 grand. But if you like pay up front or whatever, it's 5 grand. So, oh, am I turning this down? Okay, so now, so I'm going to pay up front, um, so that I can get the 5 grand price, and I'm at home. I don't need lodging. I don't need anything because it's literally 20 minutes away from my house. So I'm just like, okay, so I'm excited about doing that. I went took a tour of the school today. Um, and it seems pretty cool. I have a friend that actually went to school there years ago, and he said literally that it is pretty cool, pretty simple. You come in, you know what I'm saying, you do what you do. It's repetition and you get it. So he was more so worried about the pre-trip inspection. I'm not worried about stuff like that because you give me something to read, I remember it. I'm familiar with truck parts and engines and things of that sort because I've been around it for so long. And then I like muscle cars. I like old school cars and stuff like that. So I'm really, really into um, engines. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I'm excited about that. So I'm not nervous about the pre-trip. What I am nervous about, let me tell you, I am nervous about um, the double clutching. I'm also nervous about the parallel parking. The reason I'm nervous about the double clutching is because I can drive a manual. Hey, boo, how are you? Yeah, what's going on? So the reason that I am kind of worried about the double clutching thing is because you can't drive it like you drive a car. Hi, how are you? You can't drive it like you drive a car. And that's the thing. You get complacent and you get used to doing things the way that you're used to, but it's totally different in a truck. So I'm just like, okay. And that, when you clutch in, clutch out, this or that, you're trying to do it so fast, you're not really thinking about it, but just slow down. That's what I've been told. Just slow down and it'll come. So I'm like, okay, don't really have a problem with the so far with the double clutching that I've played around with um upshifting. It is the downshifting that always gets me. So because in the manual that we had when we were waiting on the KW to be ready, we were in Wyoming, and Wyoming, you got a few little hills or whatever. So I was on the hill and I had downshifted and I could not get, I don't know what is going on with the volume of my phone. It keeps going up and down. Maybe it's because I'm using the earbuds. I don't know. But yes, that downshifting is crazy. So I was going up that hill and I had to downshift. So I was downshifting and downshifting and downshifting. And then when I got like right where the RPMs were like, okay, this is my sweet spot. And, I could kind of tell by the sound of the truck. And then looking down, I looked down at the RPMs and said, okay, I'm ready. So I got ready to shift up. I could not get that thing in gear. So, of course, I pulled that summer gun over. I was like, I can't get this truck up the hill. And he was like, what do you mean you can't get this truck? I was like, I can't get this truck up the hill. So he got me two exits. I pulled over on the shoulder, which was great because I wasn't in like the travel lane or anything. But he went two exits down and he was like, okay, here, take it back. And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, but that's like the most I think that's the scariest thing. I'm afraid of like stalling out in like traffic and things of that sort. But I know where the gears are, without even looking at the shifter. I know where they are. But it's just that damn double clutching. I'm just like, man. And then the parallel parking. Okay, y'all, let me explain something. When I got my regular driver's license as a teenager, okay, first of all, thank you. When I got my regular driver's license as a teenager, um, the one of my we had to do like this driver's ed course in high school. And so I did the driver's ed course, but of course, since my birthday is in August, I wasn't old enough to actually get my license once the driver's ed course was over because you had to be 15 and a half. And I wasn't old enough to get um, my permit or anything like that. So what we did was we got emergency license. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to do that. I don't know if they still do. So I did that. So I drove on those emergency licenses for a really long time. So as a senior, they were only valid for 6 months, and I didn't realize it. So as a senior in high school, I was leaving band practice. Yes, I'm a band geek. I was leaving band practice, and I was going to my mother's job at the hospital, and it was raining. I had just got my hair done, like the day before or something like that, and I turned the. I think I didn't turn on the turn signal or something to turn. So I'm from a little small town, Tylertown, Mississippi. I'm from a little small town, and everybody knows everybody. But this particular cop, he was new on the beat, and he had no idea, who I was, who my mother's car was, or anything like that. So I'm turning, and he pulls me over. So I'm just like, okay, this guy gave me such a hard time. He was like, "Yeah, you drive with a valid driver's license." What do you mean I do have a driver's license? And he was like, "No, these expired, like a year ago." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, okay, he would not let me drive the car to my mother's job. So I had to walk, which it was literally not far, it was maybe like a half of a quarter mile, and I'm looking at the hospital and I'm like, I'm just going right there. And he says, no. So he wouldn't even drive me. I had to walk in the rain with a new hairdo. You understand? So my hair got wet. That was wasting money. So moms was mad. Moms was ticked off. So it was like a hot mess. And she was like, whoa, wait a minute, la 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 la. So of course, needless to say, his because my mother is very, very she's on every board, every this, every that, you know, at least back then before she stopped doing a lot of this stuff. But she did so much in the community, so much in our little town. Everybody knew her. She was on the political spectrum there. Everybody knew her. So, needless to say, that guy was not on the force for too long. So, I was just like, okay. But also, I had to go and get my driver's license that day. Well, um, they were like at the end, I didn't have a scheduled appointment. I didn't have anything. But we walked in and you would go to like the library and the state troopers were there and they'd be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So she knew, of course she knows everybody. So she was like, okay, well, can she test today or do we, need to wait? But I really need her to test today. And so I tested and he was like, we were riding and he was like, well, it's been raining. And I was like, yeah. He said, so how do you feel about, your parking and stuff like that? I said, oh, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Y'all, he said parallel park. I looked at him, I said, but it's raining. So I sort of kind of escaped parallel parking, by just like, oh my God, it's raining. I don't want to parallel park. I can't this, I can't that, la la la. So okay, so I didn't do parallel parking when I got my initial license. All right. So now I know, and it crazy is funny. But now when and at where I was from, we really, I mean, you find a spot on the front street and Main Street because we only had like one Main Street. All the parking was parallel, but you just pull straight in, because it's a little small town. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I'm not gonna be using parallel parking. Well, when I got older and moved to like the bigger city, and moved out of the state, I was having a parallel park. And Huz was like, after I got married and we started, riding around and stuff together or whatever, he's like in different places. He's like, I would ride. He said, there's a park right there. I was like, I don't want to park there because I wasn't confident in doing the parallel parking, which is why I always say, I don't want to park there. Somebody gonna hit my car. So, but needless to say, I do okay with parallel parking in a regular vehicle. You know what I'm saying? thanks to the backup cameras. But ain't no backup cameras on the trucks. So anyway, so I am excited and nervous about those two aspects. I don't know why my phone keeps doing that. Um, I'm nervous and excited about that. So I'm going to get that done. And like I said, I start September 10th. I could have started the week before. However, as you can see, my son, well, our son, he gets mad at me when I say my, our son is a football player at Kent State University, D1 Mac Division, um, and they have Family Day weekend, that particular weekend is September 8th, and I did not want to miss it because I promised him that I would be there, and I'm that mom that I don't miss anything. I don't care what's going on. I will hop a flight, I will hop a train, whatever. I'll rent a car. I'll call it whatever I got to do. I'm gonna be there for my baby. So, although he is not playing this year because he is redshirted, he's using his red shirt because we transferred from D2 to D1. So, according to NCAA rules, he has to sit out. So I'm just like, okay, so, but he'll be there on the sidelines and I will be in the stands yelling for my baby and his team. So that is what I do. So I didn't want to miss that. So I scheduled to start on September 10th and I will test on September 28th. So good vibes. Yes, that is what moms do. And like I said, I don't miss nothing. I don't miss anything. Just so excited for him. Um, so that is what I am going to do and I'm excited about it. Um, and just ready to get it done and get it over because we're approaching busy season. Because right now everybody knows it's kind of dead. Well, not really, but it's kind of dead, you know. So I figure I will be ready for the up and coming busy season leading up to Christmas. And I think we've already picked up some things for that. And he's like, I need you rolling on the logbook. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to get it done. So congratulations again, 40. And hopefully in a few weeks, I'll be like, oh, passed. Yes. So yes, yes, exactly. And like I said, like you said about this bee, Hubs was really a great teacher. However, he teaches the way that he does. You know what I mean? And you try and teach your wife, and you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute." You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, and then I would get frustrated. He would get frustrated, especially when it comes to like the backing. I'm trying to play around with the steering wheel, making sure that my trailer is going the way that it's supposed to go. And he's like, "What are you doing? Your trailer is running away from you." I'm like, "It's not running away from me. I'm sending it away." So yeah, but I'm excited. So I'm at home right now, but I will leave tomorrow. He will come back through, and I will scoop and get back on with him. Run down to Miami, do a couple things. I gotta make a stop in Mississippi to see my nephew, and then it's time to come back and get my groove on and finish up my some other things that I had going on. But it is what it is. So I'm excited. Yes, yes, because I watched them today on the pad. Like when I was doing my tour, they were out there. They have a lot of things going on, so you won't be like everybody is looking at you because they have things going on. The only thing about Roadmaster, which is different from where you went to school, is the fact that you don't have your own instructor. You will share your instructor, and there are chairs in the trucks. That's the only thing I'm concerned about because I'm scared of everybody think I'm driving. And hell, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting in trouble with somebody that don't know how to drive, you know what I mean? So, and they get in there with me, then, I'm just like, okay, so that's kind of like the scary part about it. You got to ride with people that you don't really know how to drive because they new like you know? So, but that's the only thing. As far as like the price point, I compared price points everywhere. And I was like, okay, by the time, because most schools generally run anywhere from like 4,000 to 6,500. And I was like, okay, but by the time I do but they don't pay lodging, they don't do any of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, by the time I fly somewhere, by the time I stay somewhere for that amount of time in a hotel or something like that, I could have just done everything here. So I don't know what is going on with my phone. It's like the volume keeps going up or down on its own. I don't know what is going on with it. But so at any rate, um it was just easier for me. Even if I had done like the 7 grand price, it would have still kind of like even out by the time you factor in flights and everything. Because y'all know I have to fly home. I got a free day, so I'm just like, okay, or to do a rental car or get Uber all the time or whatever. So I'm at home in the comfort of my own home with my friends that can help me. Um, and even make my own dinners. Hey, baby, you shouldn't be. Are you driving while you trying to watch a live? I thought I was gonna sneak this one in. He's supposed to be driving. I just talked to him on the phone. Uh, but yeah, so that's what it is. Kids are passing by, riding bikes. But yeah, so that's what it is. And like I said, I'm ready to get it done. I'm ready to just say, okay, this is something that I've done because I am not a quitter. I am very, very determined. Oh, well, I looked at some stuff, and the only grants that I kept seeing come up were like the Pell or whatever, and we didn't qualify for Pell for Tyler to go to school, so I didn't even think that we would get Pell. You know, um, there is this thing called. This is another thing. There's this thing called the Work Initiative. Uh, Force it's WIA. I don't really know how that works. I guess I could call and see because technically I ain't worked in over 10 years. Yeah, so that might do, but I have to see. But I did see that, and it said you had to go because here it's called One Stop. You got to go to their One Stop, and they give you an appointment. Then your caseworker kind of like sets whatever, whatever. But when I looked on there, the stuff that they had was for like gas and pipelines and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to do no damn pipelines or anything like that. So I will call them just to see because if I could save her the 5 grand with a kid in college, you know what I'm saying? I can hold on to it. So yeah, so that's great. I know I remember somebody else saying, and I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody on YouTube that I mentioned something about different grants or whatever for African American women, going into the trucking industry and things of that sort. So I guess I could kind of like look into that too to just see. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out because I had to. And it's good that I'm gonna check it out because I wanted to pay today, but she wouldn't let me pay today because I got to do my drug screening. And so I was like, okay, which was great because it gives me time to check this stuff out. So I do my drug screening, but I'll check this out before I take them that money. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna call them people in the morning. I sure am because I did a screenshot of the information that I was looking up on my phone. I sure did. So I am going to check that out tomorrow morning and get it done. I was glad that I didn't have to do another DOT physical because I have a DOT physical. And she was like, well, how did you get your DOT physical? And I was like, because I already have my permit. And she was like, okay. She said, well, do you have any restrictions? Because there is like a K restriction where you can only drive in your state or whatever. Well, I know in Ohio, she called it a K restriction. And she looked, she said, oh, well, you don't have a K restriction. I said, no, I do not. So you get the K restriction if you don't have a DOT physical already. I had the DLT physical. So I was like, okay, great. So she says, yeah, you can drive anywhere. I said, yes, because I have been driving everywhere. That would have been really messed up if I'd been driving everywhere and didn't know I wasn't supposed to. So she looked on the back and she was like, oh, yeah, you don't have any restrictions. I was like, yep. So I was good to go. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to I'm still celebrating my birthday because it is the month of August and I celebrate the entire month. Last night I had a great time. My best friend took me out. We had such a wonderful time at Cooper's Hawk Winery. Oh y'all, let me tell you, if you ain't never had this wine called Nightjar coupled with a chocolate truffle, it does some things to you, let me tell you. I was just thinking about it. I'm just like, oh my God. And that bottle of wine, I don't know if they have Cooper's Hawk everywhere. Minus X minus. That's right. You see, happy birthday early, girl. Yes. So you see the whole month, and I have been getting it in, getting it in. Well, hang on, God. My phone is like truly, truly blowing up. I just got a 911. Please call me. Um, so I guess I need to see what's going on. I tried to sneak home, but I made that post on social media. So now, oh goodness, it's just going, going, going. Text messages are blowing up. So I tried to sneak home because when I come home and I announce that I'm coming home, I don't get to do anything that I need to do. I don't get to rest. I don't get, I rest when I'm in the truck, which is crazy because I don't have any kids here. You know what I'm saying? My kids in school. But so I'm just like, when I announce that I'm coming home or something like that, I love my friends. I really do. I get to hang out with them, see them, blah, blah. But everybody like wants a piece, and it's kind of hard to like continuously give pieces because you got to see everybody. And then one person's like, oh, well, you saw so, you didn't see me. And then when they see me, they're like, oh, I'm coming to get you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So it's kind of like that, and you don't get to see everybody when you want to, and then you're trying, somebody sees that you were out and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you were home. They're like, but let's do something tomorrow. So then your next day is filled. When do you have time to do the stuff that you need to do? So yeah, so that is what I'm dealing with right now. And hopefully I can get some stuff done tonight because I plan on not doing anything. That's what I'm saying right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. You get spread too thin when you're at home because everybody wants a piece. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? And you love them. You want to spend time with them. But at the same time, you're dog tired. You want to rest. You want to get the stuff you need done around your house. You want to get the stuff, what I'm saying, your laundry and all that stuff done because it's kind of hard. It's strenuous, and then somebody's feelings are gonna be hurt somewhere. Well, you saw so and so, you didn't see me. And I'm like, oh my God, well just come on the truck. Yeah, come on the truck. Take a ride. Come on the truck. But anyway, so let me go and take care of this situation and see what's going on with that because like I said, it's been like 3 911 texts that just came through. So let me see what's going on with that. And I'm smacking. Y'all hear that? And I hate it when people do it. And I found myself doing it. Why am I doing it? I don't know. Crazy. I don't know. But anyway, so enjoy your evening. I'm going to attempt to enjoy mine and finish washing this hair, my hair, because this is coming out. I'm saying bye bye to the extensions. Yes. So, anyway, enjoy your night. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I subscribe back. So, enjoy your day. Peace out.